ahead and be in Swastikasana. Descend the back waistband downward so that the flesh of the buttock can release and descend down. With your hands, palms down on the thighs, turn the upper arm bone out. And so that the shoulder blades firm onto the back. When that happens, descend the shoulders away from the ears. Relax the legs. Then bring the palms together and close the eyes. And breathe through the nose. And join me for the sound of Om, followed by the invocation. Yogena cetasya padena vacham malam sharirasya chavaijakena yopakarudam ravaram minam patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi Abahu Purushakaram Shankha Chakrasidarinam Sahasara Shirasam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim Hari. Release the head down towards the heart center and surrender there completely. Release the hands with the palms up. Bring the head up with closed eyes and then gently open the eyes. Let's start in Adho Mukha Vajrasana, Child's Pose. Be very aware that you keep the outer groins and buttock flesh descending, even as the hands come forward. Then keep the hands there, lift up and turn your toes under for Adho Mukha Svanasana, Downward Dog. Lift through the knees, but reach the heel bones deeply down. Then walk the hands back to the feet. Keep the lift through the legs, hold the elbows, and release the side body, the side waist, the back ribs, and the back waist downward. As you engage and lift through the knees, observe how you can gain more release through the spine, through the trunk of the body. Open the back of your upper knees. Change the crossing of your arms, flow the biceps downward. Keep that lift of the legs. Walk the hands forward again. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Take the hands to the sides of your mat. Grab on with your thumb up and your fingers beneath that mat. Feel how that can help you turn the upper arm towards the ground more. And then elongate through the outer armpit. Keep the lift of the legs and descend the spine. Almost as if the chest were working to move towards your ankles. Keep the space in the back of the upper knees broad. Then again, walk the hands back to your feet. You can hold the outer ankles or the back of the heels, and again, bend the elbows wide as you relax the abdomen and descend the spine downward. Shoulders away from the ears. And then inhale, release and come on up with the head last. Okay, so we're gonna take your mats to a wall. So just put that narrow edge of the mat against a wall. And we're gonna take downward dog again with the heels at the wall. But when you go to do that, you know, the back of your heel is gonna touch the wall, right? This region. So let's see, there's no good way to support that. So when you do that, you know, there's this bottom rim of the heel where the heel pad, I guess, ends. So I'm going to call that the bottom rim of the heel. The place of your back heel that should touch the wall is about 2 fingers above that rim. So it's, you know, roughly in this region, like the top of that roundness of the heel. That is where you will touch the wall. And when that happens, that is the spot that you should work to drive back at the wall in order to more firmly press. Now, if the heels make it to the ground, great. If they don't, it's okay. That's still the work. However, as you work there, the way to get the heels down does not live in your heels or your calves or your thighs. That action happens all the way from the pelvis and the lower back descending. So look to use that region, right? All the way from the back waistband to descend down. I think what's really common for most people, most bodies, you know, because our joints are the movable parts and the bigger joints move faster, meaning the big joint of your hip is much more likely, sorry, someone fell out, to move fast rather than the smaller joints in your low back. And it's not that you want to burden these small joints in your back. However, they have a tendency to close and to stay closed. So let's see, I don't know how visible this will be, but just kind of watch for a second. So if I put that back part of my heel against the wall, I can create a sense of movement in this way. It's not exactly wrong, but it's also not what I'm asking you to do, because I am taking the heels down from my calves, from the back of the knees. But you can probably see, I don't know, that this area is maybe slightly indented. I'm going to descend my heels from there. That is the idea of taking the buttock flesh down. So here we go. Is that different? That's what I want you to look to do, okay? So come on, downward dog again with those heels against the wall. And it doesn't necessarily, that's not the first action to find. The first action is, yes, of course, find the back of your heels, press that region back, wake the legs up, lift the knees, all those things. But then as you relax the abdomen and press the hands, take a breath, and with an exhale, roll the back waistband towards the heels. And for many of you, and I'm coming up to watch, for many of you, particularly those people who are quite mobile, you'll really feel like you're rounding your back, and that is not likely. That's right. Reach from there and descend the heels back and down. Keep the press of the heel back. So it's not your calf or your shin that moves back the most quickly. It's that space at the back heel that moves the most quickly, that leads the action. Maintain the elongation through the outer armpit. Breathe. And then walk your feet forward and come on up. Get 2 bricks, bring them back to your spot. We're going to start with a couple bricks, but that doesn't mean we'll stay with them. It'll be a subjective thing for you. But we're going to take Padmasana. But as you do that, I'm going to step the right foot forward. I'm going to take the left foot back. Now, when we normally do Padmasana, frequently I say, that back foot turns. And it does commonly in this pose. But today, we're going to work with that back foot a little bit differently. I'm going to work to turn it as much forward as I can. And it is going to end up being like that downward dog leg. So again, watch, I'm not just taking that movement in my hip joints. That would be called hanging in your joints. Rather, watch, I press the heel back first, not the calf. I'm not in a hurry with my knee. Heel back, descend the buttock flesh down. And it's weird. The way it feels in my body is like it makes space for your femur bones to get under you. Then your front outer hip firms in, your back outer hip firms in, and it gives you more freedom in the side body to lengthen forward. We'll be here. We'll take a few breaths, and I'll say flip those blocks a little lower, be on your fingertips or palms. But work with that back leg, because it's that lift of the inner leg, the connectivity of the tailbone in, that offers freedom in the spine, in the upper body. And then we'll get rid of the bricks altogether, and we'll look at bringing the palms down in order to bend the body forward. Okay? That's the story. Turn the bricks on top again. Right foot forward, left foot back. And then when you do that, really work to arrange that left foot so that it can point forward. It should sort of appear as though there's a line down the middle of your mat and both inner heels are making an effort to be on that line. Keep the bricks under your shoulders. Observe if you're in your joints, hip joints. Most of us are when we just move in there. So now work to press that back heel in that same place, just above the rim of the heel, back, heel down. This outer left hip will come much more deeply beneath you. Then you'll find room to bring the outer right hip beneath you. Weight in the mound of the right big toe. Breathe into the side body and elongate the side waist, the side ribs, the chest forward. Feel how the pressure in that back heel and the mound of the right big toe create the support in your outer hips to hold you stable, and how the tailbone is then in. Now, flip the bricks one stage lower. You can start with your fingertips on those bricks, but it's the power of that back leg, buttock down, outer ankle in, inner ankle up, that will create freedom in the spine to bring the palms down. And then you work to lengthen the side waist away from the hips. Coordinate there. Then one more transition, set the bricks aside, fingertips down, work with the back leg, outer right hip also. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, bring the whole palm down, press that back heel. The back will round. You can see in my body how this part of my back is quite rounded. Exhale, bend the elbows wide and lengthen the frontal body so the collarbones move towards your right ankle. Then step the back foot to the front foot. Inhale, come up, Tadasana. Second side. Okay. Put the bricks on tall, right foot back. Point that right foot forward. So when you hang in the joints, it's weird. You know, it's like when we do our practice, yes, we stretch the muscles, but we should also work to strengthen, and that has to do with that chronic lift. So now press that back heel back. Feel the outer ankle firms in, the inner ankle lifts up. And that then should help connect you to the flesh of the buttock descending. Press the mound of the left big toe so the outer left hip is in too, and draw the side body forward. Breathe. Now it should almost feel like your pelvis has lifted to get the femur bones beneath you. Now flip the blocks one time lower. You can start with your fingertips down. It won't change the height much. Keep that back outer leg engaged in particular. Lengthen the side body and exhale, bring the palms down. Still, collarbones broad, frontal body lengthening towards the front of your mat now. Now, ditch the bricks. If possible, bring your fingertips down. Work that back leg so the inner right ankle is lifted well. Lengthen the side body. Inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows, whole palm down. Keep the elbows bending. Keep that back leg working. So the frontal body lengthens down the left leg towards your left ankle. And the head can release. Elbows wide, neck soft. Coordinate both legs to work together. Then step the back foot to the front foot. Inhale, and come on up. All good? Good. One more time. Same thing. Right foot forward first. Ooh. Left heel against the wall, turn your toes forward. Waken that back leg. Now to the right big toe. So feel how those femur bones, it's like they suck in towards the midline. You lengthen and begin to lower those bricks, and lengthen and begin to lower those bricks, and lengthen, back leg engaged. Exhale, bend the elbows, palms flat. Now this time you can start to walk the hands back. So keep that back leg engaged. Walk your hands back like you're trying to get to the wall. Fingertips down, press the hands down to descend the frontal body. As you lift through your right kneecap, feel how you're working to deepen the right frontal groin. Last little bit, press that back heel. So again, that outer left hip comes beneath you, then hands forward, step the back foot to the front foot and inhale, come on up. Tadasana. Second side. Press the right heel back. Firm the outer right hip, right ankle in so the inner right ankle draws up. Mound your left big toe down. Begin that descent of the bricks. So the lower the bricks go, the more responsible your legs must become. Exhale, bend the elbows, palms down. Now this time, again, keep that left frontal groin deepening. Walk the hands back. Exhale, reach the hands back and down. Last little bit. Press that right heel into the wall. Then step the back foot to the front foot. Inhale and come on up. Tadasana. So your mat's already at the wall. Let's just go ahead and keep it there because it's useful. Lie down with your feet facing the wall. Be close enough. We're taking Ekapada Padmasana. So just be close enough so that once you lie back, you can press the heel bones into the wall in order to lengthen the low back and straighten the legs. So it's interesting now, you've sensitized that region just above the back rim of the heel. Now I want you to feel that the inner leg lengthens to the inner heel and into the wall. Feel how the buttock flows with it. But then broaden that back heel bone against the ground in that same place it touched the wall a moment ago. Feel how that helps the mounds of the foot broaden and it helps your thigh bones descend. Now inhale, take the arms up, hook your thumbs and lengthen the arms overhead. Side waist stays down or back towards the floor, however you want to think about that. Lengthen now. Lengthen those arms out of your waist. Change the cross of your thumbs, lengthen. Then release the arms and hug your right leg in for Ekapada Padmasana. Engage the left leg more. Heel to the wall, spread that back heel so that even the back groin of your left thigh broadens. Change sides. Go back to the first side. Now, as you do, listen, get your heels to hit the wall in the proper way, all right? Buttock to inner heels, spread the back heels so the thighs are down. But now listen, just bend your right leg and put the foot flat on the floor. Engage through your left leg. So that leg kind of pushes you a little more away from the wall. It forms of stability in the outer leg. Now, when you go to hug your right leg in, consider that you want your right frontal groin to deepen. So as you hug that leg in, you guys have, many of you have been in class with me where you have that strap here hooked around your frontal groin. Feel that this frontal groin goes to the wall as you hug this leg in. So that means the frontal groin, and it includes the outer groin and the inner groin. Make that deep. And a way that can be useful, by the way, if you find that that area is muscular, a lot of people find this quadricep region gets kind of thick and muscular, particularly if you're an athlete. You can put a blanket there so that when you fold, that blanket helps deepen that crease. And that can be really useful. Okay, so do that. And then change sides. Okay, use the blanket if it's helpful. Go to the left side. Once you've done both sides, hug both legs in. There is no prop there unless maybe you have that blanket. But consider, you want those frontal groins, outer groins, inner groins, all pulling towards the wall. Relax the abdomen. Keep the knees closed. Shin bones straight down. The lower back, sacral region, should almost get a sense of spreading there. And then release and turn onto your right hand side. Push the floor away, come up. Get a blanket and open a blanket up kind of like that distance, like just one time unfold it and lay it down on your mat like that. And come to have a seat in Virasana. So if you need a break or some height under your buttock, at least to start with, just have it. Right? Spread the calves away from the midline, descend the buttock down. Breathe. So once you come to that Virasana, again, get that back waistband to descend down, down, down. Turn the upper arms out. Soften your frontal thighs, quadriceps, right? Release and relax there, even through your knees. You know, sometimes it feels like, like pressure in the knees. Work to relax the legs so that the knees are more tolerant of that. Then bring the palms together at the chest and broaden the chest. When you do that, the buttock flesh should still release down. Parvatasana, palms forward, and spread the upper shoulder blades to lift up and lift up. Take the arms forward and down and change sides. Arms forward and down. So this is Virasana 1. Now we're going to shift to Virasana 3. So you just lift up, turn your toes, the heels stay on the outer hips, and you work like you're going to sit down between the feet there. Now, I don't expect you to just plop down. No. So it's something like that. It can be useful, you know, to get a brick, maybe turn it on the medium height or the low height, and you can sit there on something, and that's a good way to get the buttock flesh to descend. And then it's also a good way to kind of measure your progress, getting the buttock to descend more and more and more. That pressure in the knees could possibly intensify. So work to relax the legs as you descend and work cautiously. And then turn the legs back again to Virasana 1 and feel how suddenly, wow, that's not nearly as intense, probably. Now again, buttock flesh down, take your left hand to the right knee, right hand behind you, lift to the side ribs and exhale, turn to the right. Flow the thick back right ribs towards your right elbow. And exhale to center and change sides. Turn to the left. So the thick back left ribs to your left elbow. The thick back right ribs firm in, but the buttock descends down. Come back to center and do that again. Turn to the right. Look up and over the right shoulder. And exhale to turn to the left. Same thing. Look up and over that left shoulder. Elbows wide. Then come on back to center. Now, let's see. For just a moment, you're going to release your left leg. So I'm trying to mirror you. Release your left leg. You can keep your hands by your side. Work to descend the buttock down. So when you do that, you can press the left heel slightly down and forward and feel how that gives you a little control to get your left buttock to release down as much as the right buttock. Then bring the left heel of your hand to that top groin and press straight down. So I'm bearing weight, on my left hand and the heel of my right hand to get that thigh to descend more. As you bear weight there, feel how your right femur bone flows towards the knee. So that again, it's that frontal groin, inner groin, outer groin descent. Now work to keep that right leg the way it is. Extend out through your left leg. And work to sit evenly on the two buttock bones. So that usually means, oh, this right hip has to go down, 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 down. And it might mean that you'll take another blanket and put it under your buttock, which is also common and fine. So you could do that. So, you know, it's that thing of do what you need, but don't do so much that it makes all the effort dissipate. So for me today, and it's different every day, I don't need that much blanket today. But and then I still have to work a little bit to get that to descend. I have to rely on what my body does. And I also have to rely now on this straight leg. So put your hands beside your hips, roll the left buttock to the left heel. Bear weight on the hips again, feel the buttock descends, then broaden the mounds of the left foot, the straight leg, and feel the back of that heel also broaden against the ground. Frontal groins down, shoulders roll back. Now, reach up. Hook your thumbs and elongate out of the waist. But when you elongate up out of the waist, the hips should be elongating down out of the waist. Your straight left leg will guide that. Inhale. Now with your exhale, lengthen forward towards the foot. Allow the abdomen to deflate, fingertips to toe tips. Work your straight left leg so the buttock descends, but lift through the side ribs, broaden the collarbones. So if it's too far of a reach and you can't broaden the collarbones, have a little bit of a strap. Then hands either side of the sole of the foot. Lengthen the side ribs again. And exhale, bend the elbows. Flow the frontal body down that right leg towards left leg, towards the left ankle. Inhale, straighten both arms. Exhale, release. Good. Now, put your legs back in Virasana. Virasana 3. Turn the toes. Sit between those heels, even if you don't make it all the way down. I don't either. But imagine someone's kind of hanging off your back waistband. Descend. Then Virasana 1. Now straighten the other leg, the right leg. So as you do, keep that left hip descending. Bear weight in your, let's see, right hand, so the heel of the left hand can press down. Have whatever height you need under that straight leg or under both buttocks there. Have it only under the buttock, by the way. You guys know that. So now flow the buttock to the heel of the straight leg and broaden the mound of the foot as you lift up. Feel the action of that straight leg is what maintains the length of the back waistband down. Exhale up and over, fingertips to toe tips. Descend the buttock, but lift and lengthen the side ribs. Good. Take a hold of the sole of the foot. Again, lift through the side ribs. Exhale, elbows wide. Flow the frontal spine downward towards that right ankle. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, come on up. Straighten both legs. You can come off that height. Then, let's see. I'm going to turn, I think. And it's better now that we don't have our legs in Virasana. I usually use that blanket under my feet if you're in Virasana, just because it's more comfortable. But now have your buttock and your legs all on one surface, unless you definitely need height to keep upright for Dandasana. So flow the buttock towards the heels, set the buttock down and broaden the mounds of the foot. Now, you can put a block behind you if you wish, but we're going to take Marichyasana 3. So bend your right leg. Step that heel in close and stand into the right heel. Before we take that left arm up, hook your right thumb in your outer right hip crease and pull down. Work to make that frontal groin, outer groin deeper and deeper and deeper, like someone's hooking that towards the floor. Then take your left arm up and exhale, hook the outer elbow beyond the knee. You can turn the abdomen to the right, but now lift the chest and exhale, turn the chest to the right. Stand on your right inner heel. It might even make the buttock kind of light, and that's fine. Stand there, press through the mound of the left big toe, and turn. Then exhale to center, straighten both legs. Bend the left leg. Hook the left thumb in that hip crease, pull down. Really work to stand in that left heel. If you cannot, just getting the foot that close, if that's a problem, then sit on some blankets. That'll fix it. Okay. Then inhale, and with your exhale, hook that elbow beyond the knee. You can sweep the abdomen to your left. Inhale, and with your exhale, turn. Keep pressing that inner left heel down, mound to the right big toe away, and turn. When you press the mound of the right big toe away, feel how that lets your body lift upright again. And then release to center. Okay, guys, get a strap and bring it back to your spot. When you do, go on and make a loop in your strap. Then we're gonna do Marichasan 3 again, but you know what? Let's have a blanket to sit on this time for everybody. So take a blanket under your buttock bones. But the same action required, roll the flesh of the buttock towards the heels and broaden the mounds of the foot. Now, when you bend your right leg this time, I want you to have this strap in the right hip crease, like that. So much so, you see I'm actually hooking it around so I have both sides of it. So that when I get that hip hooked, when I get my knee bent, watch what I'm doing. This inner strap's not doing a whole lot. That's at my inner groin. But this upper strap in the outer hip, I'm pulling that guy way down. Because you see, when I want to turn, when I turn to my right, just watch. You see how that wants to lift? I want you to be able to hook and pull that down. And then the work is wow, okay, so that changes things. You can even bring a hand here. Sometimes that'll make it more dramatic. But then once you get that change, you try and maintain that change. Okay? Right side. So go on and hook the leg. Once you're upright, see and feel how this outer hip lifts. Pull way down. So if we were in partners, this is something you can actually do with partners. And there'll be someone else pulling that hip down. You can't get away from someone else. So get a sense of that really descending. You see what I've already done? I just hooked my forearm. So that gives you the beginning of the turn. Go ahead and take that. The spine leans slightly forward in the angle of the leg. But now press the mound of your left big toe away and flow the thick back left ribs towards the left foot. Turn. Keep that outer right hip descending so the abdomen turns to the right. Then if you feel like, okay, I can keep that balance, you hook the elbow, you pull down again, but keep that descent to the hip and turn again and more to the right. And then release to center with your exhale, straighten the leg. You guys feel how much more significant that is with that pull? Okay. Second side. So, hook in there. Bring the heel in close. Start to pull downward. Know that your sides are not symmetrical, so explore what this side is telling you. Feel the spine shift slightly forward. Press the mound of the right big toe away now and get these thick back right ribs to move towards that right mound of your big toe. Turn. Abdomen to the left. Turn. When it feels appropriate for you, hook that right elbow beyond the left knee. Pull that hip down. Once you feel like, I think I can maintain it down, you can let go, maintain that hip down, lift the side ribs and turn. And exhale, release. Back to center. Now, come off the blankets for just a moment. Flow the buttock to the heels, broaden the mounds of the foot. Now we're going to go back again and do Trianga Mukha Ekapada, which is bending your right leg again into Virasana. Now, you can do that. You see, I didn't use the blanket right away because I want to see, can I get that descent of the thigh? And you could even use this guy again to pull down. So if that seems helpful to you, you can do that to get that outer groin to go down. Again, it's more effective when there's someone else there pushing because, you know, you have to do the work of lifting too. But you can get that sensation so that your right buttock and buttock bone are down. Then lift up, exhale, come forward, mound of the left big toe away. Hold the foot. With your exhale, come forward. Now, as you come forward into Trianga Mukha, your left hand can go flat on the floor over there by your left. You see where I have my hand? So that it gives you more stability. You can put your right hand on this right hip or onto the strap, pull down, lengthen and extend the frontal body forward. So kind of get yourself stable for that forward bend. And then possibly you can use the hands at the foot again. Straighten the arms, lift the chest, and exhale, come on out. Left side. Dandasana. Trianga Mukha with the left leg. Use the strap if you wish. To anchor that hip. Use the blankets if you need them. No problem with that. But descend that left hip. Good job. Exhale, forward, lengthen. Now, of course, that left buttock has to work to stay down more. Go on, come forward. You can put your right hand at your right to build balance in the pelvic floor. You can put your left hand on that strap around the hip, pull down. Now, lengthen the side ribs, the side body to go forward, keeping the buttock descended. Once you can maintain, you hold the bottom of the foot again and come forward. Straighten the arms, lift the chest, and with your exhale, release. Dandasana. So I'm going to turn to face you again. Legs in Upavishta Konasana. So once the legs go wide, flow the flesh of the buttock towards the heels. So buttock bones kind of roll towards the heels, then broaden the mounds of the foot so the back thigh is broad. Thigh bones down. So it's worthwhile to kind of switch from side to side for a moment to get the top thigh to descend again. Almost like there's a horseshoe there. Taking that part of the leg down. Lift and lengthen up. Come forward. If you can hook the first two fingers around the big toes, do it. But then mounds of the big toes away. Outer groins down. So again now, consider when those outer groins down, the abdomen lifts in and up. It should not be a big hinge in your hip and a big pull of the inner groin. There should be more prana than that. So use your feet. Lengthen the side ribs, but feel how the abdomen draws back. The low back should be broad. Breathe. Keep the toes pressing the fingers. Keep the fingers pulling the toes. So the outer ankles, outer legs, firm in. Then release and inhale, come up. Now, we're going to take Baddha Konasana, but to do so, you hold your inner knees. When you bend your knees, sort of like let the cards fall where they may. Just let the feet touch together where they touch together. Don't try and pull them in by using your feet. Then, hands behind your hips. Lift your hips and flow the flesh of the buttock and buttock bones towards your heels to step your buttock forward. Then the hands stay behind you. Roll the shoulders back. Broaden the mounds of the foot so the outer heel presses the outer heel. And the inner leg, this whole region, lengthens away. This whole region lengthens away as if your femur bones are being pulled to the sides. By the way, they could be pulled to the sides. So here's the thing. As you lift and you make that space, feel how the frontal groin deepens. But now, if you have one troubled leg, some people have a troubled leg. I do, because we're not symmetrical. But if one leg, one knee, one hip, one ankle feels different than the other or has a hard time, you start with that one. But I'll show you what you do. You get this strap. Watch how I put this strap around my right knee. I sneak it between my ankle and my thigh where there's a little space. I pull it, and I've done this to many of you in class before, and I get that at my inner knee. And I pull that inner knee away. I don't push it down, I pull it away from me. You can also separate the strap like that and widen your inner knee. But for right now, it's going to be more comfortable to just pull it away so your other hand's on the ground. So go and do that. If both legs are fine, just pick one. And then release that side. Go to the second side. And pull away. And then once you feel like you spent equal time, back the hips up, Upavishta Konasana. Spread the mounds of the foot so the kneecaps lift, anchoring the front thigh bones down. So it should almost, pardon me, it should almost feel like the back of your legs spread against the ground as evenly as possible. Even this area behind the back of your heels, try and close those gaps by spreading the back of the leg. Now we're going to come forward again. So reach the arms up, inhale. Exhale, first two fingers grab the big toes. If you don't quite reach, narrow your stance, press the mounds of the big toes away and lift through your side body. That doesn't mean through your side waist, right? Because your waist is needed to keep the buttock descending. There's sort of a divide there. So it's the side ribs to broaden the collarbones. Now, imagine I'm behind you and I've got my hands right on those frontal groins. I'm driving them down, particularly the outer groins. Maintain that. Inhale, and with your exhale, elbows bend wide. Those outer groins go down. You lengthen your side ribs forward and you begin to bring your head first comes down. Eventually, the chin comes down. And then in time, the chest comes down to the ground. Then inhale, release, and come up. Good. Baddha Konasana. Same thing. Feet land where they land. Lift your hips, roll the buttock flesh to the back of your heels, and elongate through your inner legs. Buttock descends, hold the feet. Any amount now through your side ribs, release, lengthen, come forward. Elbows widen. Press the outer foot into the outer foot so the legs widen. Oh, cramp. And go forward. Release, inhale, and come out. Straighten both legs. Buttock to the heels. Broaden the mounds of the foot to broaden the back of the leg. So I'm going to turn to the side again. But we're all going to bend our left leg for Janu Shirshasana. So unless you have a knee injury or a hip injury, just bend the leg out to the left and then use the other hand to bring the heel towards the groin. You want that knee to flow back behind your hip. Turn to face the right leg. Imagine that inner leg is being pulled away from you, just like it was a moment ago with the strap. Now inhale, lift and come up. Exhale, come forward, fingertips to toe tips. Descend the buttock down. Lengthen through the side body, side ribs. Relax the abdomen. Now you can hold the sole of the foot. Inhale. And exhale, bend the elbows and extend the side body forward. Imagine that left femur bone flows away from you, from the front of the thigh, inner thigh, even outer thigh to the outer knee. In fact, I shouldn't say imagine. I should say make that leg do that, please. Inhale, straighten the arms, lift the chest. Exhale, release. Lift that left leg, Tadasana. I'm sorry, Dandasana. Change sides, right leg back now. So your left buttock bone should flow to your left heel, but your right buttock bone should flow to your right heel. Right? Got that? Then broaden the mounds of your left foot to bring width in the back left leg. Reach up. Keep that back left leg broad because that will help you come forward. Fingertips to toe tips. Now, the buttock descends, right? But the side ribs lengthen. Hold the bottom of the foot. And with your exhale, deflate the abdomen and lengthen the frontal body forward and down in time. Now, the right front thigh flows to the front kneecap. The inner thigh flows to the inner knee. The outer thigh flows to the outer knee. So that leg is almost moving away from you. Inhale, straighten the arms, and with your exhale, come on up. Straighten both legs. Dandasana. One more time. Left leg back first. This time when you come in, reach the left arm up, hold the outer right leg, lift the chest. So coordinate those things, buttock down and this leg being drawn away from you as your straight leg mound of the foot broadens. And kind of make your way down that outer leg so that your outer left buttock works to continually descend. In time, come forward over that right leg. Inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, come on up. Change sides. In the right leg. Lift the right arm, hold the outer left leg, relax the abdomen. So with that abdomen releasing, it allows for that descent of the buttock. And then you work in the back, in the upper body, right, to lift the chest. Make your way down that leg. Until finally, in time, you lengthen. And inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, come on up. So, Dandasana. All right, everybody good? Okay, good. Here's what we're gonna do. So, we're doing all this work in the hip joints in the lower back to work towards a Padmasana leg. So it's just the work towards. So what you're gonna do, watch me first. I'm gonna widen my feet about the width of a mat. Then, and by the way, you guys know when we do Padmasana work, if it bothers your knees, if you feel pain, just don't, it's not worth it, you know. But you wanna drive the work into your hip joint. So it just requires paying attention because it's a very tempting pose. We want to get it, you know. Don't upset your knee. It doesn't mean your knee won't feel it necessarily, but it shouldn't be pain. So when I bend I'm going to take my left leg in first. I'm not bending it like Janu. That's too much. I just bend it a little more like Baddha Konasana. Then I bring my hands under it, but I lean forward. And it's in that leaning forward that you'll feel that hip. Buttock is down and you drive the sensation into your hip joint, right? So that at this stage now, it's like the femur bone, inner, front, and outer are rolling away from my hip towards the knee. Now, from there, I'm going to hold my outer ankle, take a breath, and I'm going to lift that foot up. So you see how I'm kind of, whoop, I'm rolling it back. Sometimes we do this thing where we hold it like a purse, right? It's the same sort of thing. I'm just rolling it back. I'm going to show you from the side so that's very clear. I'm just rolling it back. I'm getting a little movement. The back is not poker straight. It really can't be. But then I'm going to go, I'd like to touch that ankle to my head. And it's okay that I round my back and get there. That's right. And then I want to touch that ankle to my nose, and then to my chin, and then to my chest, and then to my navel. And now watch the thigh. And the thigh rolls forward and down, and the leg sits on top of my other leg. So the real kind of the thing we're looking to create is the movement and how the femur bone turns in your hip. It's just those things leading to it start to create that sort of rolling of that bone. So again, it's going to be head. So you see the knee has to go way back to get to my head, way back to get to my chin, way back. And then when I make that transition, watch this leg. It rolls. The buttock looks like it's rolling beneath me. My inner leg reaches forward. I don't force it down, but then when I put my hands on my blanket or my mat and roll the buttock, right buttock to that heel, left buttock to basically that heel, then I can be upright. So we're doing that. It's pretty fun, and it feels great in your lower back, so it is worth doing. Feet a little wide, buttock to the heels, broaden the mounds of the foot, then just bend that left leg, like you're gonna do Padmasana. If you have an injury in the knee, then yeah, it's worth grabbing your inner knee. If you don't, then you shouldn't have to do that. Now, grab underneath so your hands are at your outer ankle. Just hold the outer ankle and lean the body forward. Just rest there a little, lean a little forward, play around with that so that you feel the sensation go into your hip, not your knee. Relax the quadricep. Then once you've done that a couple times, be upright, lift the heel, the knee will kind of go back. Lift and roll that knee and thigh back, kind of like you could imagine you've got your forearm in there and it's like a purse. And again, you'll feel the movement in the hip joint, right? So as you hold that outer ankle, press the mound of the other big toe away, then take a breath and exhale, touch your ankle to your forehead. Then exhale, touch your ankle to your nose. Then exhale, touch your ankle to your chin. Exhale, touch your ankle to your chest. Now the knee's starting to move. Exhale, touch your ankle to your navel. Now, it's like you're holding a baby, and I'm leaned back. I'm not up on top of my buttock bones at all. Now, flow the outer thigh forward and down as that foot comes to rest on your top left thigh. Hands behind you right away. Lift the hips, roll the buttock to the back of the knees. Then broaden the mounds of the straight leg foot and lift the chest up. Now, if you go, there's just no way my leg's not doing that, that's okay. Then you put it back in Janu Shirshasana. Now, everybody, lean forward and slip that foot forward and right off your leg. Good. Feet hips distance. Other side, so bend your right leg like you're going to do Padmasana. Let the leg flop out over there at your side. By the way, this leg also flops out to the side. Doesn't have to do anything yet. Now, hands under the ankle and lean forward and just kind of play around, but drive that movement, the sensation into your hip joint, but relax your knee. The knee's a funny thing to relax. Uh-oh, I think Nikki fell out of the room again. Because there's not really, oh no, she's there. Someone else fell out. Oh, it's Nicole. Okay, we'll let her back in. It's not really that there's muscles in the knee. So it's not the knee that tenses up. It's the femur bone. It's the quadricep, rather. So relax that quadricep, get that movement. Then once you're up, lift the ankle, high, 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 and rock the knee back a few times. So it's like you're trying to oil up that right hip joint. And once you, again, get the sensation in your hip joint, not the knee, and look at that ankle and go, I'm going to put that ankle, I'm going to touch it to my forehead. Take a breath. Now exhale, ankle to the forehead. Exhale, ankle, touch it to your nose. Exhale, touch that ankle to your chin. Exhale, ooh, cramp, touch the ankle to your chest. Then exhale, ankle to the navel, relax the knee, roll that outer thigh. It's like it sweeps beneath you, and you set the foot down on top of the opposite leg. Hands behind you, roll the buttock to the back of the knees. And that leg will begin to lengthen forward and maybe come down. If it doesn't come down, don't force it. But broaden the mound of your straight leg. Good. Now release that. Take the legs a little apart. Now we're going to do again, but we're going to approach it a little bit differently. So watch. I'm going to bend my left leg like Padmasana. Now, I'm going to lean forward. Now, we're going to do a couple things as you lean forward. I'm going to turn this part of my leg. You see, I'm taking my thumbs on the inside, and I turn the calf out, and I turn the thigh out. It's like I'm trying to make this inner joint get plump. I turn out, and I feel that the thigh, front, inner, outer, lengthens away from me. And I just lean forward, and I turn the leg that way. Bend. Hold the outer foot, lean forward, and bring the foot with me and place it on top of the opposite leg. Now watch. Now when I do that, I lean back and I bend this other leg like swastikasana, and it's under the knee. If it doesn't fill the space, you use a blanket. And we're here. Okay? Let's do that. So bend like Padmasana. Hands under that ankle, lean forward. Flow the frontal thigh, the outer thigh, the inner thigh towards the front, outer, inner knee. Keep that knee low. You can take the hands now to the leg. Turn the flesh of the leg out. Then again, hold the ankle, lean forward, bring the sensation into the hip. Now relax the knee. And as you exhale, just steer that foot up on top of the opposite leg back. Straight away, bend the other leg and put the heel under the knee so that it doesn't hover in space. And if it still does, fill it up with a blanket. Good. Then once you've done that, sit upright, right? And exhale any amount. Now come forward. And as you do, lengthen the outer hip to the outer knee, frontal groin to the frontal knee, inner groin to the inner knee. Abdomen deflates back and the side ribs lengthen. Then inhale, come up, straighten both legs. So kind of lean forward to release that leg. Second side. So bend like Padmasana. It just lands where it lands. Lean forward. You can put your hands under the heel or under the ankle, and that'll kind of help drive that into the hip. Familiarize the hip, but relax the thigh. Take the thumbs, turn that leg out. Elongate through the inner knee, turn it. And by the way, that has to do with the buttock flesh rolling to the heel bone of the same leg. So inner groin to inner knee, frontal groin to frontal knee, outer groin to outer knee. Then, again, take your hands under the ankle, lean forward. Imagine you're putting that ankle on your chest, right? Take a breath. Now the knee stays low, but with an exhale, bring that foot up on top of your left thigh. Hands behind you right away, lengthen the buttock forward, and bend the opposite foot like swastikasana. Now you can sit upright, or you can fill that space, right? Whatever's necessary there. And once you're upright, buttock descends. outer knees to the outer, I'm sorry, outer hips to the outer knees, come forward. Buttock descends down. Good, everybody. Then inhale, come on up. Release the bottom leg, lean forward, and just help that top leg come off. Both legs straight. Good. We're going to lie on our backs for a moment. Knees bent, arms out to the side. Take your feet a little wider than hips distance. Relax the abdomen. Now keep your feet on the floor, keep them wide. But with your exhale, just take both knees to the right and the knees will splay deeply apart. Lengthen your left frontal groin to your left knee and lift the chest as you turn. Abdomen relax. And with your exhale, change sides. Lengthen the right frontal groin to the front right knee and lift the chest. And change sides. And change sides. One more round, back to the right. And then back to the left. Come back to center. Get whatever brick you might want to use. We're going to take set to Bandha, Sarvangasana. So we're doing that to ensure that the tailbone is in, to again get that length in the frontal legs. So just take whatever height feels comfortable for you tonight. You don't have to push it and do like the highest height you've ever done in your life. You know, just go easy. I'm going to just use 2 bricks. I'm not going to use the tall brick. But because I'm using 2, the height of 2 bricks, I'm going to use my strap. So go on and set that up for yourself. When you lift your hips, buttock to the back of the knees, and set yourself up there. You can hold the sides of your mat, or you can hold that strap, like so. But once you set yourself up, right, the tailbone should be supported. Ensure that both sides of the lower back lengthen evenly. And go on, and as you're ready, you straighten the legs. Ensure that the tailbone is supported, because mine wasn't. Once you press through the heels, broaden the mounds of the foot as well. Bend in the knees. Press the heels down. Lift the tailbone. The hips up. And lengthen down vertebra by vertebra. Remove your strap if you're using one. And set all the props aside. If it feels like you need to sit up into swastikasana and release your lower back by bending forward, then just do it. It's no big deal. Just take that time. Otherwise, you turn your arms out and you lengthen your legs away from you. And come on into Shavasana, final resting pose. Soften the eyes. Let them recede back to the brain. Soften the temples and the space around the ears. Relax the jaw, the mouth. Make space in the mouth and relax the tongue and the throat. So that the back of the neck and the entire scalp can become soft. Now, as the shoulder is released away from the inner ears and the arms fall away, become aware of the space in the side body. Relax the abdomen. With the hips heavy on the ground, feel the legs flow away from you endlessly. And as you surrender further and more, observe how the body is more and more spacious as time goes on. So much so that the parts of you that touch the ground can almost begin to feel like a constellation of stars in the sky. But when you look up at the constellation there, that pattern of stars, the more overwhelming presence is the vast space that you see. Observe the constellation that pieces you together. But more than that, observe that vast spaciousness within. And bring the hands to rest somewhere there on the front of the body. Bend the left leg and reach the right arm overhead. And roll yourself onto the right hand side. Look down and push the floor away to come up. Come on back up. And that's all for this afternoon. Namaskar, everyone.